everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you are thinking about making a move to the Roswell area or away from the Roswell area, this is going to be the video for you. This video is going to be all about Roswell, Georgia, one of my absolute favorite cities here in the North Atlanta area, and we're going to get into it right now. If this is your first time to the channel though, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell for the notifications so that you don't miss a single video about Roswell, about living in North Atlanta. That's what we talk about here. So again, if you're thinking about making a move here, or even if you're already in the Atlanta area and maybe looking to make a move further north or further south, depending on where you're coming from, we'd love to help make that as smooth as possible for you. We get calls literally now every day as a result of these videos from people just like you guys that are looking to make a move and are asking questions about what does my dollar get for me in this particular area or suburb. But also tell me more about the city and about, the community feeling, about what's happening, in the city. What are people doing to live, work, and play within these areas? So again, as I said, we're here in Roswell, Georgia. This is actually City Hall over here. I'm just going to do a quick little drive around for you guys, especially if you've never been to Roswell. This is hopefully going to give you a little bit better perspective on, what the kind of downtown area vibe feels like. There's actually like two different areas. Canton Street, and then what I refer to as downtown Roswell. But Roswell itself is a big city geographically speaking, so there's a lot of areas that we just won't be able to cover today. But if you're looking for a particular price point in this area, want to know, what can $500,000 or $700,000 or $1 million get me in Roswell, Georgia, we're going to cover it, I promise. Now we've got a ton of playlist of videos here for Roswell specifically, as well as all the other suburbs around Sandy Springs, Alpharetta to the north, and to the east and west with like Dunwoody and Johns Creek and all those types of areas as well. So again, if you haven't yet subscribed, make sure you do that. That way you don't miss a single video. And let's get right into this Roswell video real quick, and we'll show you a little more behind the scenes here of the city itself. And again, just a quick little drive around to give you a little bit better perspective of what you can expect when you visit. So as I said, here we are at City Hall. This is just a big, beautiful building. I love these old southern white columns up there, just a really cool statement piece, I feel like. And one of the reasons that I absolutely love Roswell is because of its proximity, number one, but number two, this is actually where I grew up. This is the area in which I grew up, and it has seen quite a bit of transformation over the past 20, almost 30 years now, and a lot of money has been invested in this area, not just publicly, but privately as well. And you're gonna see just kind of this, it's like a big city that's a small city, kind of an identity crisis here in Roswell. But I think what attracts a lot of people to it is that small city feel. And so, today we're going to drive you through the Canton Street area, where there's a lot of really cool, like, little restaurants and shops and stuff. Kind of feels like that smaller, city or smaller town. And just this part of Roswell really comes alive at night with the restaurants and live music, and there's a brewery right here as well. So just a ton you can do in this area in walking distance pretty much from everything. So this is Canton Street. That's Alpharetta Highway there to the right. So as we make our way down Canton Street here, you'll see again, this is just a really cute little, feels like an old town, right, with the old buildings and stuff. But you've got some restaurants in here, you got some shopping in here, you've got a little gallery over there to the right with some art and sculptures and stuff. But this is one of our favorite places over here, 1920 Tavern. You've got a little steak joint here, some sushi, yeah, like I said, you see some of these older houses that were converted into commercial space. That used to be a gas station there, and of course you do have some light commercial in here as well. But this to me is one of the cooler parts. So Table and Main up here on the left, little Southern Bistro, one of my favorite places to eat. Their fried chicken is phenomenal, and Ryan does a great job with the menu there as the owner. He also owns Osteria Mattone up here. It's an Italian place, also really, really good. You got to try their spaghetti and meatballs sometime. Really, really good. Then you got the Pickle there, little Southern deli. There's Osteria Matone. And then, let's see, up here on the right, we've got one other restaurant. Did we already pass? I think we might have already passed it, sorry. But again, this is an area where you see a lot of different, you know, types of construction going on. So this is all new here on the corner, these apartments up here. And then I'm gonna also show you, there's, you know, again, some kind of light commercial, you know, law offices and stuff like that in here. Accountants, you got a little corner grocery store over here. But again, just feels like a really small little city, small little town. And they've just now started to redevelop some of this area. But look at that, you got that old historic home over there. Isn't that cool? Very cool. Wegmans. Let's see what else we got. A little vinyl store there. I want to show you guys this up here though. It's an area that's being redeveloped. Used to be just like a little strip center, you know, shopping center, but now they're redeveloping it to have some apartments, almost like a, you know, if you're familiar with the term mixed-use development, it's up here on our right. And I'll make this turn real quick and show you guys what's going on. So a mixed-use development is just that, it's mixed use, right? There's some residential, maybe some light commercial or retail, you know, nail salon, coffee shop, that type of stuff on the bottom floor, the main floor, which is accessible by car or by walking. And then you have the apartments or condos or townhomes, depending on what that development calls for, on the second, third, fourth, fifth floor, depending on how tall it gets. So as we make this right turn back onto Alpharetta Street, again, you see you got an animal hospital here, you've got a dentistry place on the left, you've got a couple other restaurants and stuff, but this is the development I was talking about here. So this is going to be a live, work, play. You see it on this, on the signs there, called the Southern Post. So apartments, shopping, I mean, pretty much everything you could want or need in one-stop shop there. This is really cool though. Look at this fire department. Isn't that cool? And then that's the standard right there. Little restaurant for your Buffalo Bills fans. Anybody coming from New York will appreciate that. But yeah, there's always some construction going on here. People are always trying to figure out, you know, from a traffic and movement standpoint, what does it look like? But yeah, that's a general drive-through, you know, downtown Roswell there. I think I said downtown Roswell. That's Canton Street. So downtown Roswell is a little bit different. It's about a mile down the road here, and I'll show you guys just a quick drive-through there as well. But that area is not quite as busy as this area. That area has restaurants and shopping and all that type of stuff as well, but it's a little more spread out. There's like a little square in the middle here, you'll see in a moment. And just a little bit different feel, but I mean, these are only a mile apart. So, you know, that kind of gives you some context for, you know, how far you are from one of these spaces. If you live in South Roswell, you're on the north side of Sandy Springs, so the Chattahoochee River basically separates the two. And then as you make your way further north, you eventually transition from Roswell and into the Alpharetta area. So I think you've got about a 6 or 7 mile trek though from Sandy Springs on the south side of Roswell all the way up to the north side towards Alpharetta. So, you know, geographically speaking, smaller north to south, but very, very wide east to west. So Woodstock to the west, and then like Johns Creek, Peachtree Corners, kind of like to the east as well. So imagine like a rectangle that's very wide, but not very tall. That's effectively what Roswell looks like. So here's the official kind of downtown Roswell area. And again, this goes both ways. People go both ways on this. But you see the old buildings, you got the square over here. Let me zoom out for you there. You got this little square over here. Really cool restaurant. I think this is called the Mill, if I remember correctly. I feel like it's changed names a couple times. Yeah, the Mill, there we go. The Mill Kitchen and Bar, great brunch in there, by the way. And this is just a really cool little area. Again, you got this little park here in the middle, and then a bunch of these older homes that have gone commercial, like that's an insurance agency there. You got a couple older buildings there. So this was like your old town square, right? And then if you make your way down here, you've got, again, a lot more commercial, you know, space. You've got a church, you've got Primrose Cottage. This is like a wedding facility, or you can host events and stuff there. Cool old Southern, you know, style buildings and stuff. But a lot of this is now commercialized. So again, church. You've got a couple churches here. Actually, you do have some apartment complexes along here as well. These are those older garden style, apartments. And then you got a third church here on the left with the Roswell United Methodist. But look at these old homes. Aren't these so cool? Those aren't old. Those are new. Did I trick you? These are old. It's hard to tell. They keep a really, congruent, look, if you will, in Roswell here. And it's hard to tell what's new and what's old, or what's been added onto. But that's actually sorry, I'm getting sidetracked here. This is actually a senior living facility here, right on the corner of Mimosa and Magnolia. And so if we take the turn back towards Alpharetta Highway here, you'll see there's Canton Street shops, signs and everything there. And then you got Gate City Brewing there, which is a really, really good brewery. And again, there's a lot of neighborhoods in this area that are walkable to this area. So, a lot of people think you've got to drive over here. You don't have to. If you live just on the other side here, you can walk over here. And I know a couple folks that do that. But anyway, so we're heading south back here on Alpharetta Highway, or what eventually becomes like US 19 Roswell Road down into Sandy Springs. But you see all the churches here. So we were just on the other street there, running parallel to this road, back down towards like that big square area. But again, ton of great restaurants in here. I want to show you guys some of the development though that's taking place over here as far as townhomes go. There are a lot of new townhomes being developed in this area, obviously because of its proximity to all these restaurants and stuff. But if you go around here, I'll show you those real quick. Again, just a ton of great restaurants and shopping in here, but all of these townhomes here have been developed within the last like 5 to 10 years. They've kind of been doing it in stages here, and you see the community clubhouse there. And then these have been more recently developed. You see there's still a couple here under construction, but you can still walk to that last little area there, downtown Roswell. And then you kind of get into the older, developments here with these older homes here. Again, mostly commercialized at this point. Obviously, they're trying to take advantage of the traffic, the street traffic along this road here. But really great restaurant or a coffee shop back there, Thousand Hills, Land of a Thousand Hills, I think it's called. And chiropractor here. So you got some like condos and apartments over there. Starting pretty much here though, going all the way down to the river. You won't really see any commercial development. So there's basically this is like a natural preserve, if you will, to our left. You do have some apartment complexes over here to the right, but you see Allenbrook here on the left. None of this will ever be developed. This is a natural preserve. So, just like Sandy Springs, they have a lot of, natural areas that they try to protect, especially along the Chattahoochee, which is coming up here. We're just about to cross over. I'm actually going to make a left here, and we're going to go down Riverside Road here just to show you guys one of the cool little amenities. All right, so we're over here at Riverside Park. There's a little sidewalk that connects all of this into this cool little park here. And then down there, you've got it's not really like an amphitheater, it's more like a stage, but we actually came out last summer and they did a concert series out here. It was really, really cool, and a ton of people enjoying, live music. They had some food trucks kind of set up along the side over there. Obviously restrooms and facilities here. But this is just a really cool little park. It's right here on the Chattahoochee, so you can't really see it through the trees there because spring is springing, or spring has sprung. But anyway, you've got a ton to do out at this park, and of course walking trails that line the Chattahoochee River here as well. So again, you can't really see it, but the Chattahoochee River is just beyond that tree line out there. And this is just a really cool little spot where, again, live music, they've got a lot of different things that they do here. And of course, you do have residential right next door here. So, this is walkable for a lot of people. So there's the sign there, Riverside Park. And as as we turn on to Riverside Road back over here, I'll show you guys kind of where this connects back into so that you get a sense of where we are. All of this is southern Roswell, so I may do just another video on like the northern side, just so you can kind of get a sense. But you know, you see a lot of the older homes here on the left that were built like in the 50s and 60s. A lot of your typical ranches and split levels and stuff that were originally constructed, you know, way back then. That's a newer construction home there. I actually had a buyer looking in a couple of these neighborhoods. They wanted to be, you know, kind of closer to the city, and, you know, not quite in Sandy Springs, but closer to the, you know, the river and the activities that you can do here, because obviously there's boating and kayaking and rowing, and you can shoot the hooch too, where you you know, hop in a tube and ride down. Only recommended during the summer because that water is cold. but anyway, we're also going to show you this little area over here off of Dogwood real quick. So if you can imagine, we're really close to Holcomb Bridge Road. In fact, if you continue up that way, you end up on Holcomb Bridge. But again, we're trying to stay south for today's video, just to kind of give you guys a better perspective. But that's the Chattahoochee River right there. That's 400 above us. Georgia 400 above us there, and there's the river. There has been quite a bit of new construction happening in Roswell here as well. Not as much happening in terms of one-for-one infill. So, you know, if you watch the Sandy Springs video where we talked about development and stuff, you know, you see a lot more new construction for townhomes, single-family homes on plots of land like this, where, you know, they've got 10 or 15, 20 acres where they'll come in and put up 75, 100, 125, 150 homes. And you don't see quite as much infill. Definitely infill is happening. And again, infill being where they take one home down and put one home back up. Every once in a while you'll see, you know, where they had a bigger lot, where they might have had 2 or 3 homes and they put 5 or 10 townhomes like this. But this is definitely one of the bigger developments in Roswell here. I do like how they've kind of mixed in some of the brick and rock, some of that like cement siding, cedar shake siding. A little look there, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so this is Riverwalk. You got a big roundabout here. We are getting better about our traffic control with roundabouts and stuff, but yeah, you're seeing a lot more roundabouts, I feel like, than we've ever seen before. So just a little further up the street here, we get more into the commercial side of Roswell. So on a map, we're east of Georgia 400, and we're actually coming up to Holcomb Bridge Road here. So you got your Publix to the left, you got a McAllister's Deli here. Again, this is a lot more commercialized. So this is Holcomb Bridge running east to west in front of us. This goes all the way over to like Peachtree Corners and like the Johns Creek area to the east. And then if you take Holcomb Bridge across to the west, it ultimately becomes Highway 92, which connects you over to like the Woodstock and Kennesaw area. So again, if you're looking to just be north of Atlanta, you know, Roswell definitely is one of the places you should definitely consider. Hopefully that was helpful, though. I would love to hear from you down in the comments, though. If there's a particular price point you're looking at in Roswell, or if you're in Roswell and I missed something, please feel free to leave a comment down below as well. You know, if there's ever any idea that you guys have for a video of the restaurants or the schools or anything else that you guys would like to see as it relates to Roswell, Georgia, feel free to reach out anytime. You can also call, email, or text us anytime, and we'd be happy to you know, create content that you guys find valuable. So again, if there's anything we can ever do for you, don't hesitate to reach out. You can also schedule a Zoom call anytime. That way we can hop on a video, find out what your needs look like, and then how we can best serve you there as well. But hopefully this was helpful again. And yeah, I appreciate you guys following along, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much.